Good morning everybody. Actually it's afternoon because I'm a bit late starting today, but had other things to do. Here we go, day 4. Is it day 4? I think it's day 4. Yeah, day 4. Right, since the last little clip I basically left the DPF up against the pole all night, trickling water through it. Well, not all night, for about 5-6 hours, trickling water through it, swapping ends from time to time. And then before I went to bed I let it dry out and I stuck it where it is now, under the gazebo. Showing the torch down inside, and as you can see it's definitely looking cleaner, but if you look up the top end now, I don't know if you can see it, there's still deposits stuck to the grill work there, and this is the best end. The bottom half there looks quite clean, but the top, yeah, definitely still clogged up a little bit there. What I'm actually worried about is I don't think we've actually really done anything to clean it out so far. All we've done is managed to unclog the filter, but the actual rubbish is all still in there, just sitting in a big lump, or several big lumps. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to pick it up and put it on the table there in a moment. Give it a quick vacuum blow with a vacuum cleaner to see if anything blows through it now that we've cleared it a little bit, to try and blow some water out. And then I'm going to stick the heat gun on it and dry it out. I want to try and get as much water out of it as possible, because I'm pretty sure, even though there's nothing draining out of it, there's still going to be a fair bit of water in there, in all the rubbish and particulate matter that's in there. After we've dried it, it's going to get pickled. I'm going to give it a vinegar bath today. So it'll go up against that post, cable tight in place. I'll put it in a bucket instead of the yellow container this time, mainly because as it leaks out it'll be easier to scoop it out the bottom and put it back in. And that's going to be well, pretty much, it's just gone 12 here, it's about 12:15, gets dark at 6. I shall pretty much do that for as long as I can today. So stop the video there, and when we start again you'll see me drying it out with a vacuum cleaner. Right, the hoover's set for blow. DPF's on the table, and I've got gloves on as well. I remembered that much. If you were with me from day one, you'll know that when we first tried this, absolutely nothing came out. It was block solid. I don't see any water coming out of there, and there's still a lot of back pressure. Yeah, don't think that's doing much of anything. Try it this end. Yeah, that's still well blocked. You can hear the hoover tone. And it's really pushing against my hand. Like I said, this is a fairly powerful hoover, this. Right, nothing blew out of it. So we'll scrap that idea. I don't want to put it on suck because there's a bag, even though it's a wet and dry hoover, I've got the dry filter in there in the bag, and I don't want to wreck them, and I can't be bothered to take them out. We'll try vacuuming it again with it on suck after I've dried it out a bit, just to see if anything is passing through. But from that little test, it doesn't look like anything is yet. Okay, pause it there, and we'll get the heat gun out. Right, as you can see, we've got the heat gun out now. Heat gun, I don't know, is that what you call them? They're the paint blower strippy thingies, I don't know, but I call it a heat gun. We use a dog bone to widge it up so it's pointing down slightly, and we're pretty much just going to switch it on. I've got it on the low heat because it's going to be on there a while, and I'm only using a very light extension lead. As you can see, it'll probably burn out the extension lead if I tried leaving it any length of time on high heat. So we'll just have it on the low heat and gently heat her up Can't feel anything coming out the end at all. No, there's nothing coming out of there whatsoever. But we'll just leave that probably for about 5-10 minutes. Then I'll turn the DPF over, do it from the same end again, 10 minutes. Then I'll reverse ends and repeat the other end, so it's blowing in from the other way. 10 minutes, flip it over, 10 minutes. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will dry it out. I want to dry it out as much as possible, otherwise we're just going to dilute the vinegar when we put it in. I suppose I am pickling it really, aren't I? Yeah. But yeah, this is still stone cold. No heat coming through there at all. Well, this is just warming up here a little bit. Mind you, that is off the actual body. It's like a heat shield. It's actually off the body of the DPF, so this bit isn't going to get us hot. But anyhow, we'll leave it for a bit and we'll see what happens. Back in a bit. Well, back again very quickly. 2 or 3 minutes in and I started melting the end of the heat gun. So, yep, not such a good idea. So, yeah, don't know what to do now. We'll give it a bit of thought, see what I can come up with. Okay, found an attachment for the actual paint gun that moves it out a fair bit. So hopefully, switch that on and we'll try again. Hopefully it's far enough away that it's not going to melt it. Doesn't seem to be that much of a backwash of hot air, but of course it's going to heat up the longer it stays in there. Possibly be able to move it back a little bit more. Yeah, move it back a touch, there we go. That's further back. It's definitely getting, oh Christ, that's hot there. Right, we'll give that a go. See what happens with that, see if it starts melting again. Okay, well we've had that running in there for about 5 minutes, I think, something like that. If we shine the torch in, try and get this is difficult, get this to angle. There we go. I don't know if the camera's seeing that, but there is still a little bit of wet in the bottom there, but it's mostly dry. Now if we go to the other end, which I haven't dried yet, and as you can see there's still water, quite a fair bit of water in there. It's still soaked. So we're going to leave the paint gun 5 minutes to cool down, and then we're going to stick it in this end and try drying it this end. I don't know if I said before, I found a little bit of a bar to extend it, which seems to have done the trick. Took nearly 15 minutes for the heat gun to cool down, but we've swapped ends. I've got the holes in the bottom of that adapter pointing downwards where the water is. So, yep, switch it on. And we'll leave that for a bit and see if we can dry this end out a little bit. This is only really limited success with this. It's there's so much water in that DPF. I really don't think I stand a chance of drying it out properly. I'm just going to have to put the vinegar in it with it still being water in there, and I know that's really going to reduce the effectiveness of the vinegar. I mean, it's a pretty weak acid to begin with, it's only 5%. Time it hits that water, it's probably going to be about 3% acid, maybe even 2. But yeah, I'm going to try it. I've got nothing better to do in my time. I'll do it regardless. And like I said then, tomorrow it's nuke day. We've got the Wins Off car cleaner, and that's what we'll be treating it with tomorrow. Of course I'm going to have to flush out all the vinegar again, so it's going to be full of water, and then try and dry it out again before I can put the wins in there. But well, it is what it is. Well, there's going to be lots of shorts today, all joined together. The heat gun's just cooling down for a minute because I've had it running for a few minutes. But I've had an interesting little development. I've angled this up now with a balanced brick there, got it balanced so that the water starts to come down to this end here. Now, if we look inside, you'll see it's wet at the bottom. If I can get the camera to close enough to pick it up. There we go. It's wet at the bottom. But as I've had the heat gun in there and it's blowing, there's been ash blowing out this end, away from the heat gun. So as it's drying it out, the ash is coming out. And it is definitely ash. It's not soot, it's ash. You probably noticed I've usually got a fag in my hand. I smoke, I know what ash looks like. And that is what is coming out of it, white ash. So the ash is what we want to get out of it. I mean, what's coming out is minuscule amounts, but it does show that we've loosened the stuff up. So don't actually know if we're going to get time to get the vinegar in it today. It could take all day to dry it out, and I really don't want to put the vinegar in there until it is dry. But we shall just keep on trying, and if I do get to put the vinegar in today, I will. If I don't, I won't. But you'll get to see either way. I'm going to try and get this on camera, but I don't think we're going to pick it up. But we might be lucky. Nah, it's not doing it now. Now that I've got the camera out, of course it's not. You can see there's still water in there. This is the third time I've had the air blower in there now. No, not seeing any ash now. Oh, there's a little bit on the bottom there just blue. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. But there is some ash blowing at the bottom of the pipe there. Right, quick update. It's been nearly 4 hours since the last little clip. We're not going to be doing any cleaning today, and I'm not going to get to put the vinegar in, unfortunately. The problem is that I just can't get the water out of it. It just keeps on giving and giving. I've now converted the hoover into wet mode, taken the bag and the filter out. There's a filter sat on the floor there. I threw the bag straight in the bin. It was a little bit whiffy. And this seems to be the best way at the moment, because when I put it in here, if I put my hand over the end there like that, you do feel stuff going down the pipe. There, I can feel stuff going down the pipe now. So it's a case of giving it a blast with a hot air gun, let it cool down, and then suck it out with a vacuum cleaner, and repeat. Just keep doing that over and over. But I've dried the bucket out, and tonight, instead of leaving it outside, I'm going to bring it in the house and leave it in the kitchen and stand it up in the bucket, and hopefully if there's anything left in there, it's going to drain out overnight. But I'm going to have to put the vinegar in tomorrow, whether it's dry or not. But yeah, this is probably going to be it for today. I don't know. If there's any developments, I'll add some onto it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for day 4. Have a good one, everyone. Well, this really is the end for today. I just wanted to show you that I really wish I'd thought of using the Hoover earlier. I didn't want to convert it to wet, but I regret that decision now. I'm going to show you the Hoover is the best way to go. Right, I've got to get the camera in the other hand, which is a bit awkward. Accidentally turned the power off there. Right. You've got to get the Hoover in, find a little sweet spot with your hand, and you'll actually feel it going down the pipe. There we go, I can feel it now. That is now picking stuff up. And there, I was doing it better there. What I've done, I've just twisted the pipe round, and that is really, you can feel it going down the pipe. Feel it through your hand. And you can hear the tone of the Hoover. I'll release my hand a little bit, put my hand back. That is really sucking stuff out of there now. So we'll just do this for another 20 seconds or so, just to see what it picks up. It's still going down the pipe, I can still feel it. Okay. We'll switch that off, and I'll show you what is going in the Hoover. And voila, nasty. So the DPF is still absolutely clogged up solid. That's even worse than when I got the first flush to go through back on day 2. But it is pulling it out. There seems to be a real problem with the DPFs is drying them once you put water in them. Never really thought it would give me this much problem. Hence, I'm not going to put the vinegar in there today. I've already put a bucket in the kitchen. I'm going to stand it up in the kitchen overnight where it's a little bit warmer, and hopefully there'll be nothing left to run out of it. I'm still going to have a go with the Hoover today, periodically, but as far as the video goes, there's nothing different to video other than me hoovering it out. So that's it for today. That's the end of day 4. See you all on day 5. Have a good one.